Football League.
It's tight in the AFC in general. AFC North got a little tighter after the Thursday night result down in South Florida. And in the AFC East, New England is knocking on the door with Buffalo at 5-3. A stumble by the Bills last week against Jacksonville. New England riding a 3-game winning streak after starting the season 1-3. New England won the toss. They have deferred to the second half. They will kick it off to Cleveland. Browns had that 41-16 win in Cincinnati last week. They've scored 83 points in their last 2 road games. Meanwhile, Bill Belichick's squad still looking for consistency here at home. 1-4, but 4-0 on the road. And maybe a sign of things to come as the ball comes off the tee. A little windier than expected. They were predicting about 9 miles per hour. Kevin Stefanski and the Browns have to be prepared for the elements.
Had a little bit of that last night when we were talking with the Browns.
That was rough.
Had one whistle through for a while. Luckily, it's gone.
Schwartz, the return man after the Bailey kick. Schwartz slowed down at the 15 and then chopped down. Calvin Munson on special teams makes the play. Browns open up with a 1st and 10. And Baker Mayfield dealing with all sorts of injuries. The foot injury, the latest. He told us that he felt it during the game against Cincinnati last week. Most weeks he wouldn't feel it until Monday mornings. Had to put a splint on it for sleep. And normally around 2 or 3 in the morning, he just tosses it to the floor. He's like, enough of this splint.
I was going to ask you, how's that splint working for him during the night?
Nah, not great.
Not great.
1st down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Dearness Johnson, the running back for Cleveland, and Johnson, not much of a lane, physical move to the 20-yard line and pushes his way across with Dante Hightower, first man to get there. It's a 5-yard pickup for Cleveland. Why are they so confident in running the football? Well, it's this group, this offensive line. Wills, Batonio, Treader, Taylor, Hand stepping in for the injured Conklin. Mayfield on 2nd and 5, delivers underneath, catch made across the 25, and it's Austin Hooper with the grab. And they pick up a modest gain with Dante Hightower once again involved. You're going to see a lot of 3 tight end formations, Charles. In fact, they do it more than any team in the NFL.
They feel like they can use those 3 tight ends and have answers for anything the defense throws against them.
Mayfield puts it over the head of Peoples-Jones. Incomplete. Coverage there from J.C. Jackson, who is a blanket for New England. This is a Cleveland offense, comes in ranked number 11 in the NFL. Mayfield spread it around last week. 8 different receivers in that lopsided win at Cincinnati. They had 361 yards of offense and got a win at the end of a tumultuous week with the O.J. Beckham drama. 2nd down and 10. Running play. Once again, it's Johnson. Every time he's gotten the call, he has delivered for Cleveland. We know how good this team is on the ground with Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt injured. And we have an injured Patriot on the play. Jalen Mills was grabbing at his hand. Immediately gets up, heads to the sideline for New England. So Joanne Williams, 3rd year from Vanderbilt, would step in. Appears to be that left arm for the former Eagle, Jalen Mills. Another 1st down for Cleveland.
Patriots fortunate on that substitution that Joanne Williams has elevated his play the last few ball games. Had a rough stretch early in the season, starting to play much better out on the corner. 3
tight ends in this formation. This is the number 2 rushing team in the NFL behind only Baltimore. Fake it. Mayfield floats it up. Handled by Bryant. Over the shoulder grab. And spilled out as he crosses midfield. We asked Kevin Stefanski about these tight ends. He said, look, I use it based on personnel. They all have different skill sets. I love all 3 of them.
And he draws up a lot of plays for them. These 3 tight end sets, you're going to mention it throughout the ball game, as you've already established. That was Harrison Bryant. And what did he tell us last night in our meeting? He's the one guy that deserves more opportunities. We're trying to find more ways to get him the football. Won the John Mackey Award in college at Florida Atlantic. Very nifty on his feet in pass routes.
And sure-handed his 12th catch of the season. They mark him out at the 50. Cleveland moving the football. Handoff. Johnson, nice cut. It's got a hole. Dearness Johnson caught from behind by McCourty. He nearly ripped one off with Batonio, Wills, and Teller blocking up front for 24.
So watch these guys. You just mentioned how good this offensive line is. Watch as he gets into the hole. Now watch the cutback. Freeze right there. Look at where everyone's matched up. Look at people getting people at each spot. Even Austin Hooper threw not a block, but more of a screen on the backside. Batonio 75, Teller 77, Treader 64, clearing the way in the middle.
The career leader in all-purpose yards and South Florida history, Dearness Johnson, getting his shot once again today. Flag is thrown.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 98. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We hear from John Hussey, 7th year as a referee. Carl Davis, guilty party. Inauspicious start defensively here for the Patriots. 6 plays for the Browns, 4 first downs.
And I talked with all 4 play callers, offensive coordinators, defensive play callers. To a person, they all said the exact same thing. Their anticipation of this game going in is old school. Run the football. Who's going to win the trenches? The game may change as you go along, but that's how they feel about it. And so far, Cleveland getting the better of the trenches.
Traditional set, Janovich in front of Johnson. Oh, he's got a hole! Johnson keeps going right to the 2. Batonio holds his ground and turns Johnson loose for 19.
Watch Wyatt Teller, the offensive guard. He's one of the guys who just got a new deal. Look at him right there, a chip, and then he goes and gets the second level and takes out Adrian Phillips. And then how about Dearness Johnson? Being able to read it, look at the eyes, sees it right side, now the hole is back left side, makes the cut, a second cut, freezes Devin McCourty to pick up extra yardage downfield.
He has got excellent vision. Mayfield sets up as a receiver. Direct snap, Johnny Stanton. And he cannot get to the goal line. Stanton, a 4th-year fullback out of UNLV, a former quarterback at Nebraska and for the running Rebels. And the Patriots sniffed that one out immediately, no gain.
And we came into the game, and the question was, okay, no Nick Chubb, no Kareem Hunt. We know Dearness Johnson is going to pick up the slack, but who else? Well, we get an early answer. A wildcat play from Johnny Stanton coming off the bench. So when they want to spell Dearness Johnson, Johnny Stanton, and maybe we'll see Brian Hill, who they signed this week.
9th play of the drive. Johnson to the backfield. Fake it. Boot. Mayfield. Ball is dropped. Njoku had it on his hands. Incomplete.
Brad Freeman, the back judge, was all over the play, saw it the whole way. As you see, Njoku break into the end zone wide open. Does he have it long enough? Adrian Phillips popping it out of his hand. When Njoku caught the ball, he didn't grasp it and just bring it to his body forcefully. That allowed Adrian Phillips to get in there. Watch the left hand and pop it free. And Brad Freeman determines you didn't have it long enough for that to count as a touchdown.
Browns trying to punch it in. 3rd and goal, opening drive for Cleveland. Mayfield looking. Mayfield nearly intercepted. Devin McCourty had a shot at it. And it's 4th down for Cleveland.
And this is good defense by New England because they forced Baker Mayfield to go to his 3rd read. He was coming out on a sprint play to his left, and he had 2 receivers breaking to the outside of the end zone. When they weren't open, he came back to the cutter across the middle, and Devin McCourty held position perfectly, read the eyes of Mayfield, and almost came up with a drive-ending interception.
When we asked Kevin Stefanski about 4th down last night, he said, I don't like short field goals.
Yeah, and they're 7 of 18 on 4th down, but he still doesn't want to change what he does, wants to remain aggressive here.
Instead of a chip shot, they're going for it. Mayfield fires. Austin Hooper, touchdown, Cleveland. Outstanding grab in the back of the end zone.
And how about the move that he put on to start the play? Talk about Austin Hooper to create just enough space for Mayfield to rifle it in. And look at him right over the top, ends up double catching it, gets both feet down over Adrian Phillips. He had enough room and separation that he was able to double catch that ball, and Phillips wasn't able to punch this one out as he was able to do with Njoku.
You get that bobble initially. If that ball is moving as he's falling to the ground, that could have been in jeopardy of no score, but he secured it while getting both feet down. Extra point, McLaughlin right down the middle. And the Browns march 11 plays, 84 yards. Stefanski decides to go for it on 4th down. He trusts his quarterback, who then trusts his tight end for the score. Can't start out much better than Cleveland did, establishing the run the way they wanted to, paying it off with a pass on 4th down, so the coach believes in this offensive unit, and they cash in.
And it's only one drive, but the MO of the New England Patriots, take away what you do best. Cleveland was able to stay with what they do best, at least for the first drive, establish their own personality there.
So, Patriots waiting for their chance with Mac Jones. Chase McLaughlin will kick it off to Brandon Bolden. Gunnar Olszewski also inactive because of a concussion, so New England, the depth being tested, and Bolden has nowhere to go. He gets stood up at the 17 by Taki. And here comes Mac Jones and the New England Patriots. 139 yards, a touchdown, an interception, a fumble last week. So certainly not the gaudy numbers that you may look for from your quarterback. But again, no major mistakes. And they've just been thrilled with how he's carried himself and handled himself within this offense.
I like how you pointed that out, because everyone expects everything to be perfect for these young guys. How do they handle it when it's not? And he's handled it quite well thus far.
It is Stevenson getting the nod at running back. Jadeveon Clowney with the smack. No gain on the play. Offensive line, the return of Trent Brown. So big key for New England. They had gotten things settled down at the offensive line with Owenu at right tackle. They move him back to left guard. Don't be surprised, though, if you might see a rotation where Karras gets some time. Owenu might move back to the right side. Let's see how things play out here on the opening drive for the Patriots.
And also see Owenu spell Trent Brown at times, too, at right tackle.
Jones on the dump off for Stevenson, and the Browns swarm at the 19-yard line. They limit him to a 2-yard pickup. Well, defensively for this Cleveland Browns team, they come in ranked number 3 overall in team defense. Myles Garrett leads the NFL in sacks. Anthony Walker came over from Indianapolis, and Walker's put up very good numbers in the secondary. This is really where it's paid off for the Browns. What Newsom has done as a rookie, Johnson coming over from Los Angeles. Very balanced defense for Cleveland.
This is what New England wanted to stay out of, 3rd and long.
Dime package. Jones tosses it for a first down, and hooking up with Hunter Henry for 12.
So if you're New England, you want to stay out of 3rd and long, but if you do get it, you better protect. Look here, Trent Brown working against Clowney at the top of the screen. You had Isaiah Wynn, number 76, working against Myles Garrett. Both of them won their battles and allowed Mac Jones the time to find Hunter Henry for a first down.
So move it out across the 30-yard line. Henry's been a touchdown maker for New England. In his first year with the squad after the 5 previous seasons with the Chargers, Bolden turns the corner and works across the 35. Malcolm Smith, the veteran, ranges over to make the play. It's a 5-yard pickup. Well, for this New England team, first 4 games, they were trying to figure some things out on offense. But Josh McDaniels and company, they've got it sorted out. Last 5 games, they're averaging 32 points, 373 yards. They're getting it done on the ground, and they're converting once they get inside the 20.
Those were the 2 keys, jumping up the running game and red zone production.
Stevenson wrapped up immediately. The rookie from Oklahoma met by Malcolm Smith. It's going to be a loss of 1 on the play. NFL Today update. Let's go to New York. JB and Coach.
Surprise. Cowler-like special teams play.
Yeah, how about Zaire Franklin's going to block this Jacksonville punt. E.J. Speed's going to pick it up and ramble in from 12 yards out once he gets it right there. Indianapolis 10, Jacksonville, nothing.
Back to Iron Eagle.
Who doesn't like a nice special teams touchdown, Charles? Unless you're Jacksonville. Right?
Unless you're Jacksonville, everyone else loves it.
Jacoby Myers with a snag. Out across the 40, big hit from Delpit. It is enough for a first down for New England.
And if you're going to go across the middle and work this short passing game, you have to be prepared to take those pops across the middle, as you pointed out. Troy Hill, number 23, played so well against Cincinnati last week. He was the initial tackle. And Grant Delpit, who they're very excited about. Second year at LSU, torn Achilles last year. They're expecting to see more plays like that from him. Nice job by Myers holding on.
Line of scrimmage, 42. Running play, Stevenson squeezes through with a flag down out near midfield.
Holding. Offense number 69. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That is the veteran, two-time Super Bowl champion, Shaq Mason, called on the hold.
See him looking at the big screen trying to find it. See the right hand on the pads? Right there. See him, and he's trying to control him as he's trying to fall off and make the play. Jordan Elliott, number 96.
We've already seen a heavy rotation on the defensive line for Cleveland. They will continue to mix and match and keep those guys fresh. It's an intimidating group when you have Myles Garrett there and you've got Jadeveon Clowney. McDowell and Jackson have also played at a high level. Trickery, toss, Bourne has got an angle. And Bourne takes it across the 45. Excellent acceleration by Kendrick Bourne for 15 yards.
And you notice which direction they brought it back against? The side that Myles Garrett normally would occupy. Because what they want to do with Jadeveon Clowney, who wears 90, and that Joe Jackson was in number 91 that play, and Garrett 95, they want to occupy them. They want their minds occupied as well as their bodies. They want to chip them when they're going out on routes. They want to cut them when they're throwing three-step drops. They want to run reverses and draws and screens to slow down their pass rush. Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, getting that done early.
There's a hole. Stevenson. He gets hit from behind. Good block from Jakob Johnson to spring Stevenson for 9 yards.
So far this game's playing out about like all these coordinators expected, isn't it? It's gonna be tough in the trenches. Who's gonna win the line of scrimmage? Both teams are going to want to run the football. Both of them are northern teams built for November, December, January football. And here in the early going, both playing to that level.
Stevenson remains in there, fake the pitch. Jones looks downfield, nice touch on it. And he hits Aguilar. You know, that's one thing that has stood out from Mac Jones. You might get some young quarterbacks. They're now fresh in the NFL. They feel the need to really fire it in there, fastball after fastball. He's got good touch. He picks and chooses his speeds when necessary.
Certainly does. Doesn't have the monster arm to begin with, but more than enough arm to throw the fastball when necessary. But you're exactly right about how he regulates speed, understands touch. And on that play, he really wanted the crossing route across the middle. Wasn't there. Came off of that, hit Aguilar on the sideline.
Extra offensive lineman here for New England. They get the blocks up front. Stevenson! His body in motion at all times. And he works his way to the 20-yard line for 13 yards.
They saw something on tape as you watch this New England offensive line, because when you watch the Pittsburgh game, they were able to get some double teams, some power runs with Najee Harris. And now they're able to get those guys going, and they saw, hey, if they can do it with a big runner like we got in Ramondre Stevenson, we can do the same, and they're getting it established in the early going.
Working from the gun, Stevenson again. Even though he was stopped initially on contact, his legs kept churning for 4 yards. What has Josh McDaniels done with this offense as this season has progressed?
Well, what the biggest thing is they really started to solidify the offensive line. You remember when we saw them a few weeks ago, that was their best five at that time. Now you bring back Trent Brown, another road grader at right tackle. That's where you start. The second part is they got the running game going with some of these power runs, gap schemes that he's doing. So when you put that together, now you're protecting a young quarterback, because now he's not throwing on 3rd and long all the time.
No Jonnu Smith today, out with a shoulder injury. So Matt Lacoste is up as another tight end. He's in there right now. 2nd down and 6. Jones goes down. Mac Jones sacked. Myles Garrett, how are you going to stop him? Loss of 7.
And that's Isaiah Wynn's task, number 76. And see, he's trying to cut him there because it's supposed to be a 3-step drop, and the ball's supposed to be out of Mac Jones's hands quickly. But because it was covered downfield, when he wasn't able to get Myles Garrett down, he just progressed right past him and ended up jumping on the quarterback. There's Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator.
Second year at the post. Myles Garrett said, we really believe in him. He's got everybody's respect. We see his collective vision. 3rd and 13. Dump off. Catch made. Bolden has room. Bolden inside the 5. The catch and run. Karras and Andrews providing a push up front. On a 3rd and 13, they turn it into a 20-yard pass play.
And notice where they ran the screen. Watch who's going to come upfield. On the edge, 95, Myles Garrett. They ran back into the area that's somewhat vacated by him. They want to be aggressive attacking them. And again, as I said, occupying Garrett, occupying Clowney with a lot of different things coming at them.
3rd most completions to running backs in the NFL this season. On the give, Stevenson gets stamped. He was not going to run through Togiai, the rookie from Ohio State, with a stamp.
And he hasn't played a whole lot this year, but look at it. You got Togiai, number 93. You got Mac Wilson, 51. There are a lot of white shirts in the hole there, able to meet him.
So a double-digit drive for Cleveland to open up. New England now on its 15th play of its opening drive. They've used up 9.5 minutes off the clock. 2nd and goal. Jones, touch pass, touchdown! A perfect find, Hunter Henry. Every single week, Henry seems to find the end zone.
Watch Henry. Essentially, it's an inside fade because you have Jacoby Myers stay at the line of scrimmage, number 16, and occupy the defender and keep him short. Then you allow Henry to release from inside to the outside portion in a matchup that they like against the safety Ronnie Harrison. And Mac Jones, with that touch you described earlier, Ian, put 6 points on the board.
And speaking of 6 of 6 for Mac Jones. 56 yards and a touchdown. Nick Folk, the veteran, knocks it through. And we are tied at 7. Hunter Henry got a fresh start in New England. He said it's pushed him as a player, mentally and physically. He is delivering every week for his young quarterback.
On CBS is sponsored by Macy's. Give, love, believe. Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the NFL. And by King Richard, in theaters and on HBO Max Friday.
Patriots march down the field. 15 plays, 83 yards. Henry, the 3-yard touchdown reception. That's 6 in his last 7 games. Mac Jones, perfect on the possession.
Remember the old days when coaches talked about playing a game in a phone booth? You know, tight, constricted. That's how this game's being played so far, both running and passing. Because for Cleveland, it's the tight ends. And for New England, tight ends and receivers in the slot catching the ball.
MJ Stewart, one of the up men, is brought down just short of the 30-yard line on the return by Calvin Munson on special teams. So Mac Jones hooking up with Hunter Henry to get New England on the board. 18 seconds to play in this first quarter.
When you run the football like that, the quarters fly, don't they? Both sides, effective running it, keeping the ball on the ground. Jalen Mills back on the field, number 2 for New England at the corner. He went off earlier with what appeared to be a hand injury.
And he's matched up with Jarvis Landry. Running play, Dearness Johnson lunges in the air for 3. Kyle Van Noy went down low to deal with Johnson. Kevin Stefanski said everybody in this locker room believes in Johnson. His teammates love him. In Foxborough, Evan Washburn with some special guests. Evan.
Yeah, an absolute honor, Ian, here with Admiral Mike Gilday and General James C. McConville. And One, thank you for everything you do for us and for this nation. And today's special for both of you, both Massachusetts natives. And prior to this game, you were able to enlist 50 men and women into the United States military. For both of you, and Michael, I'll start with you. What's it mean to have that opportunity in this venue in front of all these people?
Yeah, well, in Foxborough, it's special to be here, certainly today, and especially when we're celebrating this weekend for our veterans. But it's absolutely inspiring to bring a new generation of Patriots aboard into the United States Navy, the United States Army, serving our country and taking advantage of all the opportunities that the military gives them.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank all those who serve, especially our veterans who have served in harm's way. And we have a extraordinary young men and women that signed up today, and that's why we are the land of the free.
What does it mean to be able to be at this venue a couple days removed from Veterans Day and have football fans see this firsthand?
Well, for me, it's very special. This is our hometown. We'd like to thank the Kraft family and the Patriot organization for recognizing these great servicemen that serve and for our veterans.
It's reassuring to get this kind of support in this venue for our servicemen and women.
And lastly, this is probably as nice as it's going to be in a football stadium, because in a few weeks, we got Army-Navy down at MetLife, and it's not going to be all smiles between you two, I imagine.
Well, it'll be smiles, because we will be smiling when we're winning.
Really appreciate it. Thank you much for your service.
Thank you, Evan.
Fine, back to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, what a special ceremony that was. Intercepted. Mayfield has it picked off by Kyle Duggar. And the Patriots continue to produce on the defensive side of the ball.
Fourteenth interception of the season. Kyle Duggar in the short zone. And look how he got his head back around. See how he was watching David Njoku, number 85, in the route? And then he got his head back towards the quarterback to see the ball coming and able to make a play on it. That's double coverage Baker Mayfield essentially was throwing into. And Kyle Duggar takes full advantage and takes it the other way. Notice how he transitioned on the catch to becoming a runner. Also a terrific kick returner in his time at Lenore-Ryan in college.
Mayfield had been limiting his mistakes, just his fourth interception of the season. New England from the 6. It's a pitch. Good cut. Stevenson steamrolls in. Touchdown, New England. Well, that's Patriots football. You get the pick, and on the very next play, you run it down their throat.
And it's not just the big guys being physical. Watch number 1, N'Keal Harry. Wide receiver takes Myles Garrett and washes him down inside, which allows the big guys to get out and run and clear a path for Ramondre Stevenson, who, where there's not a path, he will make one at 246 pounds, the rookie out of Oklahoma.
Stevenson, a bruiser from Las Vegas originally. And the patience as well. Yeah, he knows you gotta really appreciate Patriots faithful here in Foxborough.
TV Stream. Get your TV together. And by Audi and the all-new fully electric RS e-tron GT.
Well, certainly if you're in the Foxborough area, you got to check out the Hall of Fame, New England Patriots. It's growing because there are new members every year, because there are a lot of guys that have established themselves as Hall of Fame level players in Patriot uniforms. And part of the reason why is because of plays like that. Interception, Duggar, touchdown, Stevenson. Schwartz the return, and he runs into a wall with flags down. Cody Davis on special teams makes the play. So after a tremendous opening drive, Cleveland now finds themselves in a 7-point hole after the pick by Mayfield.
Return, holding, receiving team number 36. Penalties from the spot of the foul. First down.
MJ Stewart, who was just activated off IR. Inside the NFL is now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. Get expert insight, exclusive commentary from the hardest hitting team in the game, including James Brown, Phil Simms, Brandon Marshall, Ray Lewis, Michael Irvin, and Julian Edelman. Stream new episodes of the Emmy Award-winning series Tuesdays at 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah, speaking of Patriots Hall of Fame.
Another one.
Another one that will be added in the not-too-distant future in Julian Edelman.
3 tight ends in this formation, Hooper, Njoku, and Bryant. Mayfield to throw it on first down. It's on time to Jarvis Landry. He's been dealing with injuries. Just now, he says he's starting to turn the corner, but he had to admit it's affecting him Monday through Saturday. He can't go through the normal prep that he's accustomed to.
Even change his diet to try and reduce inflammation so that he could be ready to play each and every week. And these 3 tight ends you keep referring to, notice how they're using them in spread formations, tight formations. They like to keep them on the field at all times. Mayfield to throw it on first down, feeds it to Hooper underneath, and creates after the catch for a first down of 11. Hightower and Bentley there defensively. NFL Today update. JB, Coach Keller.
Early surprise in Landover.
Yeah, Washington football team, Taylor Heineke to DeAndre Carter from 20 yards out, gives him a 13-0 lead. Tom Brady has already thrown 2 interceptions.
And we throw it back to Ian Eagle.
And JB, nothing is that shocking anymore week in and week out in the NFL.
And JB threw it to you without an interception.
No, there was no pick.
No, he takes care of the throw.
Clean. He's got a perfect quarterback right.
Clean. But you remember that playoff game they had last year? Washington gave them all they wanted.
Austin Hooper had to come to the sideline. Janovich is in there in front of Dearness Johnson. First down just short of the 35. Handoff, Johnson gets away initially, trying to redirect. Judon, though, does his job, slows him down, and they hold him to a gain of 1.
Yeah, the first play there, I think, was Jawan Bentley, number 8. I think he filled that hole quickly, allowed Judon to close quickly as well. But he was able to get in there, and they're taking a look at Austin Hooper. When he went down, I saw him coming up, tugging on his face mask a little bit. Watch Hooper, watch this play here. Right there, you see Bentley 8 stuff in the hole, and then the rest of the guys swarm, and as you noted, Judon, Christian Barmore able to get him on the ground.
Second down and 9 now for Cleveland from the 35. Johnson exits the backfield. They'll go with a 5-receiver look. Mayfield, timing route, sideline, too high, overcooked it to Peoples-Jones. And he's a good target, 6'2", 204. They've been raving about his development in year 2, what he did with his body, trimming down, adding strength, adding speed.
And look, they're not afraid to go against the #1 pass interceptor in the league in J.C. Jackson, but you have to hit plays. Because if you go at them, be it aggressive, that's fine. You got to win your share of those battles. Let's see if they continue to test J.C. Jackson on the corner.
Now it's a 3rd and 9. 6 defensive backs here for New England. 12:38 to go in the first half. Jump. Mayfield. They're going to get the free play to the outside and caught at the 40-yard line. Quickly brought down Njoku. 2 flags on the play. 1 near side, 1 far side for John Hussey and company to deal with.
Coach Belichick not happy with Josh Uche, immediately motioned him over for a quick word. He might have identified him as the culprit.
Offside. Defense number 95. 5-yard penalty enforced from the previous spot. Remains 3rd down.
Was it really 95? Was it? I think he really meant 55. I think he meant Uche at the top there, who jumped first. Yep. Look at Baker. He knew he had one, but wasn't able to convert that free play into a bigger one as quarterbacks want to do.
So it turns into a 3rd and 4 from the 40-yard line. Motion man Schwartz. They stack him to one side. Mayfield on 3rd down. Deep shot downfield, nearly picked off. It would have been J.C. Jackson's 6th of the year. And the rookie from Auburn, Schwartz, the intended receiver.
And these Patriots love to play man-to-man defense, and they locked down on this one. Second time on this drive, they tested J.C. Jackson. Fortunately, that ball wasn't picked off. He ran the route better than the rookie out of Auburn, Anthony Schwartz, and was in position to take that one the other way. I think Baker wanted maybe something a little bit different out of his receiver, but they are fortunate they're punting it away instead of defense going on the field on a sudden change.
Jamie Gillen will punt it. Deep man Jacoby Myers. We mentioned the injury to Oshesky. Takes a bounce at the 23, and it's going to keep on rolling. Perfect.
The backup punt returner, you really need to go grab that one and save the yardage.
But a penalty marker was thrown on the play. It curved to the 2-yard line. That's a 59-yard punt for the Scottish Hammer.
But you can see when your backup punt returner's out there, he's a little bit uncertain. Jacoby Myers hasn't returned since his junior year at NC State. Go grab the ball and save that
During
yardage.
the kick, holding, number 33. Correction, number 33 of the receiving team. My mistake. That foul will be enforced. Half the distance to the goal. First down, timeout.
How quickly you can go from being cheered by 65,000 people to being booed.
But it turned on him fast.
Really fast. Well, the New England Patriots very deep in their own territory. You can't get any deeper. They open up short of the 1-yard line with Stevenson in the backfield on first down for New England.
180.
Jones on a give. Stevenson somehow gets through there and holds on to the football. They were trying to rip it away from him as he picks up 5 yards straight up the gut. Cleveland was in a dime package on first down from inside the 1.
And it was Hannibal who told his troops when they said, hey, we can't get through the Alps like that. He said, we will either find a way or we will make one. Ramondre Stevenson makes one with his 246, as I've noted a couple of times. Gets low center of gravity, and great force with his legs getting through the hole.
Hannibal, huh?
Yeah.
Was that in People magazine? If it wasn't in People magazine, I didn't read it.
I got in the dentist's office.
Yeah, 2nd and 5. So they go back-to-back. Stevenson picks up 4. Just short of a first down, brought down by Walker. Another NFL Today update. JB and Coach.
Lions.
Yeah, I love when you talk running game, Charles Davis. How about Jamar Jefferson right here? Speaking of that running game, 28 yards out, the Detroit Lions looking for the first win. Tie out the Pittsburgh Steelers 7-7.
Wow, CD talking about Hannibal destroying 2 Roman armies. My gosh, back to Iron Eagle.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was talking about. Over my head. Slicing through, Stevenson. Spun out just short of the 30-yard line. 18 yards. Look at New England creating space inside, then outside for the Pats.
Yeah, and they were able to get guys in open field. You see Isaiah Wynn, 76, the offensive tackle. Throughout this game, that ball's been handed inside, as you noted. Ramondre Stevenson taking it inside the guards. This time they show that and then flip it to the sideline and get the big guys out in front, and he rumbles.
J.J. Taylor now in. Delayed handoff to Taylor at 5'6", 185. It looked like Stevenson could be a no-go this week because of the concussion that he suffered last week. Damian Harris is inactive because of the concussion, but he worked his way through protocol. It appeared that it was going to be Bolden and Taylor having the lion's share of the responsibility. Stevenson healthy, and he's been a major factor. 10 carries, 56 yards and a touchdown, and 1 reception. Second down and 8 for New England. They lead it 14-7. Taylor gets brought down in the hole, ridden down by Joe Jackson. 2.5, 3 yards on the play.
And Myles Garrett trots back out on the field with Jadeveon Clowney, both of them off on the last 2 snaps. Now this big third down coming up with a chance to rush the passer. Throughout this game, though, I think New England and Josh McDaniels' offense coordinator has done a nice job of occupying Garrett and Clowney, giving them a lot to think about on the edge, although Garrett has gotten to the quarterback once on the pass rush.
Minimal blitzing from this Cleveland defense this season, 19.8% of the time. That's 26th in the NFL. Step up, Jones got his man. Kendrick Bourne. He was not going to go down. They had to whistle him down. It's enough for a first down. 11-yard hookup against Troy Hill.
And this is New England saying, look to the right side of your screen. There's a double on Garrett. We're going to chip off of him. What they're saying is you're not going to wreck our offense. We're going to give ourselves a chance if we occupy 95. And because he does so, Mac Jones puts it right in there for Kendrick Bourne.
Mac Jones is 7 of 7 for 68 yards and the touchdown to Henry. Patriots on the move again. Jones sets, dials up the deep ball. And it's too far for Aguilar. 2 defenders back there. Delpit and Johnson.
Like him taking the shot, though, to keep things loose. Look to the left side of your screen. Watch N'Keal Harry, number 1, the wide receiver. He pins down on Myles Garrett. There, they get the rid of the ball a lot quicker because they're running the screen to Myles Garrett's side. And then how about this? Ball's out of Mac Jones's hands so quickly, Myles Garrett can't have an effect on the play. Every way possible to try and tamp down that pass rush. Josh McDaniels and New England offense giving it a try.
2nd and 10. Jones, delayed give to Taylor. And he's brought down immediately after a gain of 1 by Walker. In talking to Mac Jones, we asked him about what kind of quarterbacks did you like growing up? And he said, I tended to like the gunslingers. Brett Favre came to mind. He'd stay up, watch night games, even after his bedtime. He would tell his parents he's going to sleep.
Go to school tired.
Yeah, go to school tired. I think the statute of limitations are up.
He's okay.
I mentioned to him, we're going to mention it on the air. He's good. They can't ground him now.
Parents, he stayed up and watched.
3rd down and 9. Shotgun for Jones. Up in the air. Over the shoulder. Jacoby Myers secures it against the rookie Newsome for the first down.
Well, you mentioned the gunslingers that he liked. How about the touch that he continues to show us? Throwing that in the perfect spot for Jacoby Myers to fade to the sideline away from the coverage of the rookie Greg Newsome, who played an excellent game last week against Cincinnati. That young man out of Northwestern has great physical gifts, and Myers beats him to the sideline, and the pass finishes off an excellent play.
Brandon Bolden in there. New England in business inside the Cleveland 30. Handoff. Bolden. Solid run across the 25. I bring up the gunslinger story because it's not necessarily the persona that we connect Mac Jones with, yet it might be closer to his personality than we think.
In other words, it's Mac Jones he wants that to come out, but in high school he played for a man named Corky Rogers at the Bowl School of Jacksonville. He played for Nick Saban. He's playing for Bill Belichick. They're not gunslinger type of coaches, okay? That's not going to come out. Now, we'll see more of that as he develops, but right now, just don't turn it over.
And do that. Touchdown! A strike to Bourne. Mac Jones is dealing.
And that throw, as close to gunslinger as we're getting from Mac Jones right now, because he takes the shot in tight coverage. It's double covered, but he trusts his receiver and he trusts his arm and where he's going to place the football. They tell him, whatever you do, don't turn this thing over. But if you take that shot, you better be sure. He was sure, confident, and decisive.
Extra point is good from Folk. 99-yard drive for the New England Patriots. 11 plays. Kendrick Bourne climbing the ladder for the score, and Mac Jones showing the emotion, rightfully so. He's 9 of 10 for a Patriots with their first 99-yard drive since September of 2011 against the Chargers. That one takes 6 minutes and 11 seconds, and Mac Jones has been fantastic in this first half for the Pats. Bailey kicks it off. Schwartz moves forward from the 11 for Cleveland. Schwartz trying to split special teamers and gets dropped at the 34. Well, this is when you know that this is a really good team. They recognize someone might be in peril. Our cameraman, Caleb Fisher, backpedals, goes down, and whoop, help him up. Get him up, boys. Yep, high fives.
Wow. That's pretty strong right there.
Caleb okay? Yeah, he's okay.
That is really strong.
We got the wave. We got the wave. Everything's good.
It's like the Naval Academy, shipmate, self. They took care of their ship and their shipmate before they took care of themselves.
Browns are now down 21-7. Mayfield, pump. Mayfield out of the pocket, trying to create something downfield, and he'll chuck it away. Incomplete. Baker Mayfield is now 5 of 13, 43 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. The last time Cleveland was here, week 8 of 2019, New England beat them up 27-13. The Pats moved to 8-0 with that victory.
And look at the coverage downfield. This is why he had to take the football and throw it over the sideline to avoid the loss of yardage. Everyone locked up downfield. Not a single white shirt had a chance to spring himself open. Mayfield threw it over the sideline to avoid the loss.
We've seen a lot of empty from Cleveland. Protection has held up.
180! What's up?
More traditional set now with Ernest Johnson. There was no hole initially, so he tried to curl it back, and met by the rookie Christian Barmore, who just keeps getting better and better week in, week out for New England. Another Alabama product.
Remember the first drive for Cleveland, how those runs would spring free, even if initially they were stacked. A little bit of hesitation, and all of a sudden there'd be a pop and an opening. That has not happened in the last couple of possessions. The defensive front for New England closing things down and making it tougher to score through the holes.
3rd down and 8 for Cleveland, still looking to convert a 3rd down in this first half. Dime package. Mayfield sets up the screen. Ernest Johnson loses the ball. Patriots had a chance at it. Uche couldn't jump on it. Van Noy knocked it free, and Johnson goes back to get it to avoid further disaster.
Tremendous teamwork, because Matthew Judon forced it initially, and Kyle Van Noy appeared in the spot that Judon vacated. Excellent job of combination coverage and teammates working together. Judon on the pass rush, Van Noy filled the spot that he vacated, pops the ball free, and Uche dives over a ball that they could have recovered.
Once again, it's Jacoby Myers, the return man, standing at the 30-yard line. Gillen, pressure there. Gillen goes down, no flag. And this time it is handled by Myers, who lost his footing a bit after the contact. Fair catch called for, 40-yard punt. Patriots get it back. Gillen, oh, so close. Patriots up 14. Of insurance. Cleveland got on the board with a touchdown. Mayfield, a hooper, but the Patriots had answers. Henry on the touchdown. The interception by Duggar sets up a touchdown run to Stevenson, and then Jones dropping dimes to Bourne. 21-7. Pats.
And I would say this is an important defensive stance, his defensive possession for Cleveland in this first half, as we've seen.
Stevenson. Forward progress will get him a yard. Jordan Elliott in there defensively for the Browns. Well, Mac Jones, 9 out of 10 for 17 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And then he passed over 15. Some teams count 15, some teams count 20. Count them as explosives. If it's 20, 3 of those on that graphic.
Last week, fewest completions and passing yards that Jones has had in this his rookie season. We come up on 3 minutes to go, first half. Jones, catch, curl, Stevenson, and buried short of the 40-yard line. Owusu Koromoa back on the active roster. They just love his skill set and what he brings. Instinct, speed, physicality, rookie out of Notre Dame.
And you saw some of that there, because they both slipped on the turn. He slipped and came up at the same time and able to get the run around the ground before he could get big yardage upfield.
Patriots have been perfect on third down conversion, 6 of 6 in this first half. This is a 5-receiver set on a 3rd and 5. Rush coming. Jones off the hand of Bourne, and a flag comes in. Greg Newsome with the coverage.
So close to being off of the field on that one. Let's see if it's going to be interference, and if so, could it go the other way? Meaning, was there a rub, as the offense calls it? Old defender like me says it's a pick. It says it's a pick every single time, but that's just me.
Pass interference, defense, number 20. Ball he places spot of the foul, automatic, first down.
It is the 26th overall pick in the 2021 draft. Greg Newsome, the second, physical, long corner out of Northwestern.
Yep, no rub on that one, just crossing through, and they get Newsome for having his hands on him for too long on the play.
Grabbed the jersey just as the ball was getting there.
He had an excellent game in Cincinnati last week, and did Newsome. So far in this game, a little more of a struggle.
Set it up at the 45, nothing there. Stevenson chopped down immediately by Ronnie Harrison, another one of those talented guys in the secondary for the Browns. Loss of 1.
Nice call by Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator. He's seen these runs, and he said, you know something? I'm going to take a gamble. You're going to run it here on first down. Brought the run blitz with the strong safety and ran him right into the tackle.
Patriots are going to let this one go down to the 2-minute warning, and we're going to step aside with the Pats in front and in possession. The NFL's year-round effort to honor, empower, and connect our nation's service members, veterans, and their families. Learn about the NFL's work with its long-standing military and veteran nonprofit partners by visiting NFL.com/salute. 2nd and 11 here for New England. Under 2 minutes to go now in this first half. 201 yards for the Pats. Making sure everybody's on the same page. Running play, Stevenson. Bouncing. Diving across the 40. It's a first down. Mason and Owenu for 16 yards with key blocks.
And this was on Mac Jones, I believe. Notice how much time he took at the line of scrimmage. I think he noticed the alignment of the defensive tackles. Nobody in the inside gaps. Checked to a play and got it to him.
U.S. Navy Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Mike Gilday, in attendance with Patriots owner Robert Kraft, team president Jonathan Kraft. The Patriots' commitment to salute to service has been amazing through the years. Kendrick Bourne, strong run. He's got a first down across the 30-yard line for 11. We've seen a little bit of everything from New England so far. Ronnie Harrison shaken up on the play and heads to the sideline for Cleveland.
Yeah, good luck getting a type on Josh McDaniels in his play calling here in the first half. He's got it mixed up so well, occupying those defensive ends to tamp down their pass rush and making sure that they're getting those good power runs inside with an offensive line that's really come together over the last 4 ball games.
I asked Hunter Henry, how's it been playing for McDaniels? He said, oh, he's a genius. That was it. That's all he needed to say. He said he's learned so much and he's grown because of the coaches and their guidance. Dump off. Stevenson. Dropped at the 22 by Anthony Walker Jr. That's 8 yards on the catch and run for the running back. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cowher. NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Jones, quick snap. Quick toss to the outside, handled by Myers. Ducks out of bounds. First down, New England. Troy Hill in coverage. That one covers 5 yards for the Pats.
How about the complementary plays that Josh McDaniels is showing us? He shows us the reverse back with Bourne. Then they come back the very next play. Looks like the same play. Fakes the reverse to Bourne. Throws a screen back against the flow. making sure your mind is working all the time, because the more you're thinking on defense, the less you're reacting and getting after your quarterback.
McDaniels is 18th year with the organization, 2 stints. First down, Jones steps up. Jones caught inside the 5, Hunter Henry. And a flag down back of the 23.
This may come back, but Mac Jones climbed that pocket so well.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face, offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It is Isaiah Wynn, first-round pick in 2018.
He's had his troubles with penalties during this season. And, of course, he had his troubles. He's going to have his troubles all game with Myles Garrett. Gave up a sack earlier in the ball game. Got the illegal hands there. But all in all, not a bad first half by Isaiah Wynn having to deal with number 95.
In our conversation with Bill Belichick, he was asked last 3 games, what's changed? He said a lot of little things, stacking good days together, practicing better as time has gone on. It's helped with the execution and situational football on Sundays. On the pass to Bolden, he spun down, and Hill actually got kicked in the head. Timeout called. Patriots have 2 remaining.
Charge timeout. New England. This will be a 30-second timeout. Correction. TV timeout.
Back at Gillette Stadium, the 20th season as the home of the New England Patriots. On that play, Brandon Bolden, his knee hit the helmet of Troy Hill as he was going down and went over to the sideline. He had to walk it off a little bit, needed a moment to himself and put his helmet back on. And New England now facing a 2nd and 19 with 29 seconds to go, first half. Jones on a give. Stevenson brought down at the 20-yard line. Mack Wilson combining with Walker. Picks up 5. Timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this from Progressive Insurance.
Progressive presents At Home with Baker Mayfield.
Baker reaching for that first cup of coffee. Let's see if this can get his feet moving. Oh, he's putting it back on a hot plate. Must mean a second cup is coming. And with a burst of speed, Baker heads up the stairs like a man on a mission.
Baker coming in hot, looking a little gassed from the stairs.
It's like 7 a.m. Maybe pump the brakes a little bit.
Baker stands in the doorway.
Seems a little annoyed.
I tried.
Uh-oh, leaving the seat up. Emily's not gonna like that.
Patriots 6 of 6 on 3rd down today. They were 7 of 7 against Buffalo in November of 07. You know, all part of the situation of football that we discussed, running out the clock like they did against Los Angeles, getting 3 points here and there, hidden points. And that pass is knocked down. Intended for Aguilar, and he takes it all the way, but the ball hit the ground.
And it's tipped.
Myles Garrett.
And they had
on the field is a forward pass deflected at the line of scrimmage.
And they had
4th down.
And they had Clowney and Garrett together on the same side. They were working Clowney inside on a game. And Garrett gets upfield, can't get to the quarterback, but affects the play anyway by getting a hand on the football.
So now the field goal unit will come on for New England with Nick Folk.
Game clock operator, please put 20 seconds on the game clock, please.
He asked very nicely.
He did. He threw a please in there.
No,
thank
2
you.
pleases, and you're welcome. 2 pleases and a thank you. John Hussey.
Civility.
Class act.
It's not dead.
38-yard attempt for Nick Folk. 15-year veteran. Drives it through. And adds to the New England lead, 24-7, with 17 seconds to go. First half, back at 30 seconds after this.
I'm legendary quarterback Tony Romo, and with the help of Tostitos, I'm telling one lucky fan like Steve all the football-y stuff they need to impress their friends. With Romo in your ear. Nominate the football novice in your life today.
My retirement plan with Voya keeps me moving forward. They guide me with achievable steps that give me confidence. This is my granddaughter. She's cute like her grandpa. Voya doesn't just help me get to retirement, they're with me all the way through it.
Voya, be confident to and through retirement.
Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB and the gang. Latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Patriots trying to extend this to a 4-game winning streak. It's always a party atmosphere here at Gillette Stadium. One Patriot Place, opened back in 2002.
Just think how everything's grown in around it, where the stadium is its own community now, not just a stadium.
Yeah, just used to be the stadium. Now there's a mall, there's a hotel, there's a lot going on. Bailey kicks it off to Schwartz. Stutter step move, major collision. Schwartz got tattooed by Duggar.
How many times do you hear from people all the time about the rule changes, the good things that they're doing for safety? Ah, it's not like the old days with the hit. You want to bet?
Yeah.
People are still getting hit out here, okay? We just saw it.
Yeah, they're going to check on Schwartz. Rightfully so. That was a major hit.
And clean. You know, the way you want it done. Head didn't look to be involved in that one at all.
Line of scrimmage is the 23. 10 seconds left. Mayfield hit as he throws. And the ball ricochets out of bounds. Dietrich Wise jarred it out of there.
Out of bounds at the spot. Second down.
And that could have been utter turmoil.
Second down.
So they determined that a fumble, not a forward pass that would be incomplete. Wise getting to him. And I think Mayfield still had a little bit of control at the end of that one to get that one out. That wasn't a total empty hand, but I can understand why the call was made in real time.
This is the end of the second quarter.
So these two teams will head to the locker room. The Patriots taking control after the initial touchdown from Cleveland. It's been all New England since. 24-7 at the break. Halftime is next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local station.
You know how some carriers give you so little for your older busted phone you just end up living with it? I don't think so. Verizon lets you trade in your broken phone for a shiny new one. You break it, we upgrade it. You dunk it, doggy bone it, slam it, wham it, strawberry jam it. We upgrade it.
Get a 5G phone on us with select plans.
Every customer, current, new, or business. Because everyone deserves better.
And with plans starting at just $35, better costs less than...
Here in Foxborough, 24-7, Patriots in front. Let's check out the first half highlight presented by State Farm. Mac Jones dealing to Kendrick Bourne. Touchdown in traffic. In addition, our cameraman, Caleb Fisher, went down, and the Patriots scooped him up and got him to his feet. An assist to New England. Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, Evan Washburn down on the sidelines. It is a special day. It's Charles's birthday.
Oh, come on.
It's his birthday. So Charles normally likes to have a football here at halftime. We have a treat for him if we can.
Oh, man.
Charles, here's the only problem. Our budget is limited this year.
That's about what I'm worth, so I will take it.
No.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. Thank you.
You got to
so
blow
much.
it out for the wish to come true.
There we go.
It's a done deal.
There we go.
How old? Do you give age? You don't give age. Do you?
Sure, why not? I'm 57.
Whoa.
Yeah, why not? I'm proud to be glad to be here. Let me tell you, but not as glad as the Patriots are the way they played in the first half. And this Browns team kicking off, their defense has got to get a stop on this series. Bottom line for them, the way that this Patriots offense clicked in the first half of this game.
It's going to be J.J. Taylor on the return from the 3. Taylor speeds through and across the 25. And he's brought down there. First half numbers, 247 yards of offense for New England. Cleveland limited to 91 in that first half. The turnover turned out to be costly because the Patriots eventually turned it into a touchdown. We have an injured Brown on special teams as Taylor was making his way on the return. A.J. Green is the injured Brown as the athletic training staff has made its way over. We'll step aside. A.J. Green got up on his own in the pop-up tent. Second year from Oklahoma State. Undrafted free agent, was a member of the practice squad and got hit right there as Taylor ran on by. Got hit in the head.
And did you notice his mouthpiece dangling? Guys, put your mouthpieces in. That helps with these blows. That's why the mouthpieces are there. Help cushion the blows when we have those. Please put them in.
From the 27-yard line, handoff to Stevenson. Wrestled down after the gain of one. First man there, Taki. And time to check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, and the message from Kevin Stefanski at halftime was pretty simple. We have to be better on third down, both offensively and defensively. Offensively, 0 for 4. Defensively, allowing 6 for 7 from New England. I asked him specifically about style of offense in the second half. Can they lean on that run game to get back in this game? He felt like they can. And talking to Bill Belichick, he expects some of that, too, from Cleveland.
Fake the handoff. Jones out of the pocket. Didn't see anything downfield, so he tosses it at the feet of Hunter Henry. Pressure from among those, Malik McDowell. 3rd and 9.
Coach Cowher talked in the pregame show about how this game would come down to not just Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, but the Maliks, as he called them. Malik McDowell, 58, Malik Jackson, 97. McDowell made a nice play there and a smart play by Mac Jones, just getting rid of the ball. And one last thing, Evan's right. They can lean on their running game, can Cleveland? But it means they have to stop people on defense so they have enough time to lean on the running game.
And maybe it starts right here for the Cleveland Browns on a 3rd and 9 for New England. Jones in the pocket. He's dumped at the 20-yard line, busting through McDowell.
Well, Coach Cowher, you're all over the Maliks, and one Malik in particular is making plays. McDowell, 58. Continues to works around Andrews, works around Karras. Good coverage in the secondary allows him a chance to get home and dump Mac Jones.
JoJo Natson is the return man. Jake Bailey clean, high. Natson moves forward. It bounces at the 38. Wasn't in the proper position because look at the roll New England gets.
Catch the ball, punt returners.
Down at the 14-yard line. That's a 66-yard boot for Bailey.
Hello.
Tonight, you're invited to the concert of a lifetime with Adele, including an exclusive interview with Oprah Winfrey. Adele, one night only. That's tonight on CBS, just for Charles's birthday.
I don't know about you, but my seats are going to be great for that one.
You're going to have a front row seat.
Front row, baby.
New England Patriots, 99 straight wins when leading by 17 points or more at halftime. Second longest streak all time.
Hey, kid!
They're up 24-7, early stages, 3rd quarter. From the 14-yard line, that's where Mayfield and the Browns will operate. Dearness Johnson. Pyle getting pushed. Lawrence Guy, first man there, turned it into a 4.5-yard gain for the undrafted free agent Johnson. Actually played high school football with J.C. Jackson. So you've got that connection today. They go empty once again on 2nd down and 5. On time to Johnson, 1st down, and tossed towards the sideline by Jawan Bentley.
Pretty timely what our teammate Evan Washburn brought us at the half about Kevin Stefanski's message. Got to win on 3rd down both ways. Just one on 3rd down there.
Left. Okay, we're going to 5-4.
1st down for the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, let's go. Go 8. Go rip 8. Rip 8.
Look at the alignment in the secondary. Not trying to show coverage at all. Holding until they move to it.
Mayfield Tosses it over the middle. Hooper has been their leading receiver. 4th catch of the day for Cleveland, tackled by Dante Hightower. Jamie Collins, by the way, was placed on IR yesterday for New England. As we check in with Evan.
Guys, one other note from the conversation with Bill Belichick. Well, he's been limited due to his health, but also in that first half, he feels like they feed Jarvis Landry in moments like this when they need to get back in the game through the air.
Yeah, Jarvis Landry coming into action, 19 catches, 193 yards. He's got 2 targets today, 1 catch for 11 yards. Dearness Johnson, nothing there. Gets a running start, but takes it right into the crowd for 2. Godshaw collaborating with Adrian Phillips to bring down Johnson.
And that's a bread and butter run for the Cleveland Browns, being able to pull either Joel Bitonio 75 or Wyatt Teller 77, their guards, pull them, fold them around and leading up into a hole. New England having none of it on that last run.
Cleveland, of course, lost a huge weapon this week in Nick Chubb. Tested positive for COVID, missed 2 games with a calf injury. And down goes Johnson with Jawan Bentley reading it perfectly.
This is called trusting your eyes. Jawan Bentley sees it, and look at him just trigger and go. Slithers through the hole there. No one has a chance to block him because he trusted what he saw, and when Bitonio pulled from his right guard position, he just filled that gap and got into the backfield and stuffed the run.
Bentley, run stuffer by nature, old school approach, now in his 4th year in the league. Jacoby Myers is the return man at the 30-yard line. Gillen, booming kick. That ball will bounce at the 17 and keep on rolling. Once again, punter's benefit. And it's touched at the 8. Browns do nothing with that offense presented by USAA. It was an active week of giving back for the Patriots on Tuesday. Police officers were invited here to pick up and distribute warm coats and other essential items to veterans in need, as well as the homeless. And on Thursday, Veterans Day, the Kraft family and the Patriots hosted 30 Vietnam veterans for a special pinning ceremony to thank and honor them for their services. Well represented today around the stadium. And the Patriots with a 24-7 lead over the Browns. Mac Jones, 13 of 16, now 14 of 17. He feeds it to Aguilar, walking the tightrope along the sideline for a first down. Pushed out by Denzel Ward.
Remember at the top of the game, we talked about a number of the attributes of Mac Jones. We talked about his touch. We've seen that on display. What a beautiful ball to Jacoby Myers. And when it's time to rip it, how about the touchdown throw to Kendrick Bourne between 2 Cleveland Browns? Just let it rip right down the middle. Had the confidence to let it go. Safety couldn't get over in time.
250 yards for the Patriots. They have held Cleveland to 110. Back to the ground game. Stevenson. Push from behind. And takes it to the 23-yard line for 5. Baker Mayfield, 8 of 16 for just 51 yards through the air. Mac Jones, 144 yards and a couple of touchdowns.
You know, and in play style, they're very similar to each other in terms of operating off of a heavy run game, you know, a little bit of boot action, some screen game. Personality's a little bit more similar than people think. Jones a little more fiery than people know.
2nd and 5, Jones. Excellent extension and a catch made by Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry played with Phillip Rivers, so he had a veteran. But then he had a rookie last year in Los Angeles with Herbert, and he goes back-to-back rookie with Jones.
Rookie, and did we just talk about the touch and the ball placement of Mac Jones? We just saw it there. Excellent catch by Hunter Henry. But how about where that ball was placed for him to extend and get it? I think he's going to come alive, Ian. I'm talking about Hunter Henry. We'll see a few more of these types of plays from him as the season goes on, not just touchdown catches.
Hand off to Brandon Bolden. Bolden takes it into Cleveland territory. Pick your poison. Mac Jones operating downfield and then back to the ground game with either Stevenson or Bolden. Both have been effective.
Watch this offensive front go to work. We get a double right there with Andrews and Karras. Shaq Mason takes care of business there, and Bolden is off to the races. Don't think for a second that this New England offensive line doesn't have a little pride, too. What have they heard all week long about Cleveland's offensive line?
If not the best unit in the league, it's right up there.
Joe Bitonio just got paid. Wyatt Teller just got paid. Hey, what about us? We're not bad either, and they're trying to show it today.
Bolden remains in there. Jones dump it off to him. Bolden, great cut. Bolden accelerates for another New England first down. A whiff by Walker. Bolden makes him pay. And the Patriots get 18 on the screen pass.
And who did they screen again? It's not just one person, but it's to Myles Garrett's side. They want him to have that pass rush upfield, that Isaiah Wynn take him upfield, carry him to the corner, and throw inside of him. Now he's out of the play, and a gap opens, and the Patriots take full advantage of it yet again.
And they've been rotating now with Stevenson back in there. Motion man is Henry. First down at the 19. Jones, plenty of time, hooks a pass to the outside. Stevenson doesn't go down on first contact, but a second Brown ranges over to make the play. No gain.
You mentioned earlier about the young quarterbacks, and they wanting to show off their arm, and here we have Mac Jones with the great touch. Another thing, young quarterbacks, when they have a play that's called, like we call it a shot play, downfield, they're going to throw it downfield almost no matter what. Did you notice there on this one? It wasn't there. It wasn't there. Check it down, take the completion, never go broke putting that money in the bank.
Mac Jones, we asked him about the development so far on a give. Bourne has blockers. Bourne picks his way through the 5. And Jones said, look, I wasn't the same guy freshman year in high school to senior year of high school. I changed. I wasn't the same guy freshman year of college, senior year of college. Officials get in between the two teams. I changed. I evolved. I don't expect to be the same guy as I get deeper into my career. I just know that I got a lot to learn.
And it's already starting to happen, that evolution, isn't it? And we talked about how they wanted to occupy those defensive ends. And they brought in 71 Mike Owenu to be the eligible blocker. This time, they occupied Jadeveon Clowney on the backside on that reverse.
First and goal for the Patriots. Stevenson powers in. Touchdown, New England. All day for the Patriots. Plays, 92 yards.
And they brought in Owenu, number 71. He gets one of the key blocks. Jakob Johnson, number 47, the fullback, leading up into the hole. But this ball game, this Patriots offensive line, they have announced themselves with authority and presence. 167 rushing yards in this game. Cleveland came in averaging 160 themselves, only 68 thus far.
Extra point delivered by Folk. On the ground, Stevenson, 2 touchdowns. Mac Jones through the air, 2 touchdowns. Big Gillette Stadium rocking on a November Sunday, thanks to the big Patriots lead, 31-7. Remember what part of the narrative was? Well, they can't get it done at home for some reason. Yeah, they can. They can. They're 4-0 on the road. They're 1-4 at home. They have wins over the Jets twice, victory over Houston, Carolina, and the one a couple of weeks ago against the Chargers. Natson, the return man, breaks 1 tackle, comes up short of the 30-yard line.
How about today, Ramondre Stevenson getting the lion's share of carries, filling the shoes of Damian Harris, who came into today's action with touchdowns in 5 straight games. Stevenson, more than filling those shoes right now, finding the end zone twice, but so impressive in his running in this ball game.
Ramondre Stevenson also suffered a head injury last week, made it through protocol. to be a part of the action. Did not have any reps in practice this week. First down for Cleveland, deep hole. Mayfield over the middle, hits the Ernest Johnson. That's 9 yards. Downstairs to Evan.
You guys, something that stood out field level with Stevenson too, ball security. Guys, he has that thing wrapped up whenever he's in traffic, and we know early in the season that was an issue. He was a healthy scratch for 3 games.
Yeah, that's a great point. He was not in the rotation. There was a point where Taylor was getting on active duty.
He fumbled against Miami, sat out the next 3, as Evan just noted. Remember, J.J. Taylor went through the same thing. Lost one against Tampa Bay, was inactive the next couple. They will get their message across about ball security. It's a nice pickup there, Evan.
Now remember, no James White. He's on IR with a hip injury. He would have played a huge role in a game like this.
And in tutoring the young runners behind him, bringing them along.
Shotgun. Mayfield, swing pass, caught by Johnson, and met there by 3 Patriot players, including Duggar. Let's give Evan a pop for the work that he did on the NFL Today. Terrific chat with Devin McCourty and Matt Judon on the pregame show, talking about the mentality and what we've seen with New England these last 3 weeks as this thing takes hold.
And you mentioned a little while ago about the schedule, not getting it done at home, who they beat along the way. See what happens here.
What happens is a sack. Lawrence Guy among those there, and then a party at the quarterback.
Well, people were talking about this New England team. Could they beat good teams? That's starting to happen. Guy pushes the pocket, 93. He's there first. Dietrich Wise, number 91, helps finish things off. But I'd say going to Los Angeles and beating the Chargers counts. Carolina got off to a 3-0 start. That counts last week. What they're doing right now with Cleveland.
Mayfield has to get rid of it. Low pass caught by Njoku and took an extra shove along the sideline from Jackson. Mayfield, a shot from Wise and a penalty marker down at the 20.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 91. 15-yard penalty enforced from the completed pass. Automatic, first down.
And the hidden yardage.
Good block there on Barmore by Treader, but after the ball is gone, there's Wise barreling into Baker Mayfield. And look, he just helped get a sack the play before. Sometimes you come back with a little extra vigor on the next play. Ends up getting flagged for that one.
So they're going to place the football at the New England 40-yard line. It's the 26th all-time meeting between these two clubs. Cleveland 13-12 against the Patriots. But they've won the last 3 meetings. Mayfield dropped. Njoku. Everything that they did well last week against Cincinnati, when it all clicked and all came together, it's not happening today here in Foxborough.
An apt description, because this is one you got to have. And it's not even one where you can say you felt the pressure or the presence of a defender. They're always out on the field, but in that one, that's wide open in NFL parlance. There wasn't even a guy there to make a play on the ball as he caught it. So David Njoku let an opportunity slip through his fingers, literally.
We're down to 2:26 to play in the third quarter. It's all New England, 31-7. Mayfield off his back foot, nearly picked off. He was trying to hit Johnson on the play. And Matt Judon with the hit on Mayfield. He is slow to get up.
And he's been battling through so many different things. Torn labrum, broken humerus in his left shoulder, foot injury that you detailed at the top of the show. And here's Judon, ball's getting rid of. Timing's good. Less than the 2 steps to put Mayfield down, but this young man's been playing hurt for a long time.
Nobody ever questions his toughness. Everybody around the team knows what he's been dealing with, and Kevin Stefanski said he doesn't complain, ever. Case Keenum is warming up for Cleveland.
Football on ESPN. Stream games on mobile with the Yahoo Sports and NFL apps.
They are checking out Baker Mayfield in the training tent. It appeared to be a knee issue as he walked gingerly off the field on the hit by Matt Judon. And the 9-year veteran Case Keenum is now in there for Cleveland, facing a 3rd and 10 from the New England 40-yard line.
Ready, go.
Keenum from the gun. Keenum devoured back at the 49. Judon having a career year.
Remember, his previous high was 9.5 sacks with Baltimore in 2018. Njoku tries to chip him, but Blake Hance, who's playing right tackle for the injured All-Pro Jack Conklin, no shot. Now tell me where he was supposed to throw the football. Look at the coverage. Covered, 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 covered. No spot for him to fit it in there.
And Charles, they're going for it.
Makes sense. I mean, look at the time frame. Nothing done all day long. Kevin Stefanski's nature anyway.
It's 4th and 19. Keenum flagged down, and he's down. Kyle Van Noy. Patriots bring pressure and get to Keenum.
Holding. Offense number 62. That penalty is declined. First down.
Yeah, Van Noy, you're going to get your sack, and your team is going to have a first down going the other way, as he just indicated to John Hussey.
And that's where Cleveland struggles in the offensive line is 62 Blake Hance. They need Jack Conklin back. Tried the takedown, still got the sack.
The drive to Atlanta followed at 3 Eastern by College Football Today. Saturday, the SEC is on CBS. Baker Mayfield back on the Cleveland bench. Patriots take over a 1st and 10 at the Browns 47. Jones shotgun. Jones will throw it, and a flag flies in as it bounces off the hand of Aguilar. Penalty marker at the 37.
They got the field judge and back judge with interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. Ball replacement spot of the foul. Automatic. First down.
And the second one on the rookie Greg Newsome. Down to Evan.
Yeah, and at least on the surface, good news here with Baker Mayfield back on the sideline, has his helmet, still walking gingerly with that right leg and right knee. No official injury designation right now. We'll see if he goes back in based off a scoring situation, but again, looks to be healthy enough to be back on this sideline.
Yeah, he and Case Keenum are perusing the pictures right now. Jones, wide receiver screen, Bourne. Look at him go, shot out of a cannon. First down, New England. Isaiah Wynn with a block over in that vicinity for 15 yards.
And was it a block? Look at what he does with John Johnson, number 43. One of the better tackling safeties in the league. Isaiah Wynn obliterated him coming out there on the screen. Nice pickup there, partner.
Mac Jones is 18 of 21 for 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the Patriots are moving the ball once again at the 22-yard line of Cleveland. Jones, little delay. Stevenson takes it inside the 20. Once again, Ronnie Harrison. 5-yard pickup for the Pats.
And how about Trent Brown getting the start today coming off of IR? They talked about spelling him at different times today, the right tackle for the Patriots. I have not seen him come out so far.
Not me either. Yeah, obviously this is his second stint with New England, so they knew what they were getting in that deal with the Raiders. Won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. Went to the Pro Bowl in 2019 and had signed a big deal with the Raiders. Jump with 7 seconds left. Malik McDowell for Cleveland.
Encroachment. Defense number 58. That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And he comes off the field. Jordan Elliott comes in for him.
And again, that's the situational football category.
Yep.
I'm not even sure New England was going to snap it. End of 3. Patriots with a 31-7 lead at home over the Browns. perfect find. Shotgun for Jones, up in the air. Touchdown! A strike to board. Yeah, you could take a little nap, but open those eyes. We still have the fourth quarter. 31-7, New England in front. And looking for more.
180!
Stevenson gets the call. Handles the contact and keeps on chugging. Ramondre Stevenson is like a bowling ball.
And if you're Cleveland and you're looking to run defense, which came in number 3 in the league prior to this game, giving up about 85 yards per game on the ground, my concern would be people taking the Pittsburgh tape and this tape about how they've been able to run the ball effectively inside. How do you shore things up when people decide to run it that way?
180!
Give it. Stevenson trying to bounce to the outside, cannot. There was Taki who closed off the area for Cleveland, and a loss of 1 for New England. Just underway here in the fourth. Patriots 31, the Browns 7.
That play by Taki could be clipped for a fundamental training tape of how you play, keep your outside leverage, use your hands, don't get chopped down, shed your blocker, and make the tackle. Exactly like you teach it during training camp.
Stevenson, 20 carries, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns for the rookie.
Diamond. 90, Rita. 180!
Second and goal. Jones fires. Ball pops free. Incomplete. Stevenson, the intended target.
Would you say this about the first minus we've seen for Stevenson? And what I mean by minus is on your play sheet, you get graded every ball game. Every guy gets a play sheet. Each grade, typically you get a plus or a minus on the play. That might be the first minus he'll get on his grade sheet for this game.
Brandon Bolden is in.
Watch it!
Mac Jones operating from the gun. Jones rifles, touchdown! Hunter Henry, second of the day. The New England Patriots enjoying some home cooking this afternoon.
How patient was Hunter Henry in his route? He stutter-stepped, and then he stutter-stepped again, and finally froze John Johnson, number 43, enough that he could take that move inside and be open for the delivery from Mac Jones.
Extra point here from Nick Folk. Hunter Henry, when we asked him about the Patriot way, he said, yeah, there's definitely a standard here. But then he also added, you know, we have a lot of fun in Foxborough. Great group of guys in the locker room, good mix of veterans and youth. They're having fun today, I can tell you that. Cleveland Browns went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Patriots took over, went 6 plays, 47 yards, just under 3 minutes. Henry's second touchdown of the day. Baker Mayfield hat is on, helmet nowhere near him. With the Pats in front, 38-7. JoJo Matson is brought down by Brandon King on special teams.
And this defense for New England, which has keyed their rise and their winning streak, continues today. Kyle Duggar with the interception early. Dietrich Wise forcing the fumble. Lawrence Guy, Dietrich Wise splitting a sack. And then Matthew Judon initiating another sack for himself. Patriots team's been quicker to the ball the entire game. And look at this offense for Cleveland. Nothing like what we saw last week in Cincinnati. 0 for 6 on third downs.
They had 3 60-plus yard touchdowns last week. First time in a game since 2009 against Kansas City. Barmore, the stop on Dearness Johnson. We sent it downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Yeah, and you laid it out with Mayfield. It's a right knee injury. His return is questionable. He does not look like he's going back in this game. He's on the sideline, kind of flexing that right knee. So something to monitor throughout the week for guys who've banged up all year.
Case Keenum will toss it to Jarvis Landry and gives himself up just short of the 30-yard line to Kyle Van Noy. It is enough for a first down.
And it's a smart play by Kevin Stefanski and crew. Baker Mayfield, as we all know, would go back into this game. I'm sure Stefanski told someone, go grab his helmet and hide it. No more for him today. Let's try and get him as healthy as we can for next week.
First down toss. Johnson has room and rips through across the 45 for a first down. Joanne Williams grabbing down low to make sure he didn't bust out of there for a touchdown. 18 yards on the catch and run. When we asked Kevin Stefanski about facing New England, he said, it's always a unique challenge. They rarely, if ever, beat themselves. And that's something that we've tried to harp on with our guys. A jump over the quarterback. Barmore couldn't get there, and it's incomplete. Barmore thought he had a guaranteed sack as Hooper was the intended receiver.
Now, I don't remember seeing that vertical from Christian Barmore at either the combine or his pro day. He's a terrific athlete, but how about this? How often do you see him go over the top? Good job by Case Keenum, able to drop down and make him miss. But you mentioned Barmore earlier in this game, Ian. This young man is really coming on for New England and giving them excellent play. The numbers may not wow you, but what he's doing down in and down out, really impressive inside.
Knocked down a couple of passes last week. Johnson gets the call. Tackled at midfield. And I think that's one thing that has stood out with this New England squad, that their defensive tackles aren't doing anything flashy, but they're doing the dirty work with Godshaw and Guy and Wise, who will shift inside, outside. You mentioned Barmore and his improvement and the trust they have in him. He's seeing more playing time as the weeks go on. And just how this team is rounding into form in general.
First, charge timeout, New England. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And it means that the NFL has to be on alert because this is a New England team that's showing that they are for real as we're in mid-November, and with each week that goes by, we inch closer to the playoffs. With Bill Belichick and this staff and the experience, they're going to be a factor here.
And a young quarterback who gets better every week. One of the things that I've really harped on in the last couple of weeks is his numbers weren't what they were before. But you and I were in Los Angeles, you and myself, Evan, we were in Los Angeles. He didn't play a great game there. But when they needed that drive down the stretch, 6 for 6 on that last drive, yes. He knows how to get himself back right when necessary.
Long ball, broken up. He was trying to hit Rashard Higgins, 2 defenders back there, including...
Looks like Adrian Phillips, 21. Ball's right on target, but because you're getting all that extra pressure, J.C. Jackson there, that's hard to get your arms. See, he couldn't get his arms up through the thicket of arms that the Patriots put in there. See, right there, Phillips has an arm in there on Higgins. Jackson on the other side, he can't get his arms up to catch it. And Phillips, 21, he's one of those defenders that's helped make them great this year as this season has gone on and maybe not gotten the credit he's deserved.
He told us, we knew we had a good team in training camp. We just had to learn how to win. It takes time. And the patience is paying off. 4th down and 7. First down throw, Peoples-Jones inside the 35. So this drive remains alive for Cleveland. Jalen Mills there defensively. Cover 16 yards.
And that's a really good catch because that ball was a little bit behind him and he's moving his body in the opposite direction. Good control enough to pull it down and gain a first down.
And the first catch of the day for Donovan Peoples-Jones, who has been performing at a high level.
Charge timeout, New England. This will be a 30-second timeout.
He was dealing with a groin injury, came back strong last week with a 60-yard touchdown reception. Coming up next, Game 2 of our NFL on CBS doubleheader. Russell Wilson makes his highly anticipated return to the Seahawks. They go on the road to Lambeau for a meeting with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Got some pretty good storylines there coming up on CBS. Wilson is being described as a remarkable recovery from the finger injury.
Fully documented, too.
All the drama in Green Bay with Rodgers missing a week and now coming back. And we'll see how the Packers respond.
This will be their 9th meeting, head-to-head. 4-4 so far. And the home team has won each time. Take that for what it's worth.
Johnson cuts to the outside. Here is Johnson. Nice little giddy up from him. They expect and hope to have Nick Chubb back next week. Kareem Hunt remains on injured reserve with a calf injury.
You know, another than Stanton with 1 run. Dearness Johnson, all the carries for Cleveland.
Landry in traffic where he does excellent work. Try to make a cut up field. Held to 3 yards on the catch.
Like Kyle Duggar got underneath that play and tripped it up. Hard to get Jarvis Landry down in an open field like that. It's a good open field tackle.
Landry told us he spoke with Chubb yesterday. He said, yeah, of course, he's a competitor. He wants to be here with the team, but was in good spirits. And then Landry told him once again, hey, don't forget, you're my favorite player. Toss it to Johnson. He just tossed that in there just to get the word out. He might say that to all the good players. I don't know.
It's funny when you said that, because that went through my mind. Like, Cleveland players are going to hear this and someone go, he told me I was.
Jarvis is smooth like that.
Yeah, but with you, I mean it.
2nd and 1. Down to 9:38 to play here in the 4th. Case Keenum in for Baker Mayfield, left with a knee injury. Bobble and caught by Bryant. So, new set of downs for Cleveland. They will be home for Detroit up next, then at Baltimore. That's one of these games where you looked at the record, you said, could play a role down the stretch if these two teams are tied or in the thick of it. You know, certainly New England now is going to have the upper hand in the head-to-head. Handoff, Johnson. He's hit from the side, brought down Gottschall doing the damage on the interior.
And by record, you would think, okay, you get right next week against Detroit. Don't let the record mislead you. Detroit's only really been blown out, what, once this year? Okay? They have been giving Pittsburgh all they want today. And last I saw, they were leading. So for Cleveland, bouncing this one, Detroit, and then Baltimore, you got a tough stretch coming up.
2nd and goal for the Browns. Keenum out of the pocket, trying to buy time, and Keenum will sky it out of bounds. Pressure from Jawant Bentley. NFL Today update. We send it to New York. Coach Cowher.
Yeah, Mike Evans is going to take his 40 yards from Tom Brady, his 2nd touchdown of the day, and they cut the lead from Washington 23-19. They missed the extra point there. Let's take it back to Ian, Charles, and Evan.
All right, Coach. 38-7. New England in front here. Cleveland facing a 3rd and goal. From the gun. The veteran Case Keenum, and this play never happens.
Delay game, offense number 5. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
They'll back it up as Keenum is getting the play signaled in through his headset in the helmet after the delay of game for the Browns. Penalties have been an issue for the Browns this season. 3rd in the NFL, entering action with 64, 27 pre-snap penalties, which was number 1 in the league. Discussion here for John Hussey and company.
Trying to see if Cleveland got a timeout in before the delay of game.
The discussion on the field was whether number 80 of Cleveland had called timeout prior to the delay game. After discussion, we determined he did not. The penalty stands, 3rd down.
Wow. Normally, the after discussion usually leads to we've discussed it and we've agreed. But this time, the discussion led to no.
That felt like Judge John Hussey there, didn't it?
A little bit.
Just gavelled it out. Let's get back to the proceedings.
A little bit. It's also 38-7. The The throw hurried because of the pressure, and Keenum had to get rid of it. Judon, once again, working his way towards the quarterback.
And he is very recognizable by his play. Now that he's moved to New England, you see how he's added the red sleeves to it as well? And that's becoming he is a menace to quarterbacks.
He didn't
really
drive.
Unleashed now. No.
Didn't drive Keenum. That's why there was no call.
Knocked him back.
Yep, he made contact, but then pulled back.
Did not lift legs, drive, shoulder into him, as you pointed out. Good no call.
4th and goal. Keenum gets rid of it quickly. Landry weaving. And he's brought down at the 5-yard line, and that'll do it for the Browns. Kyle Duggar in there defensively for New England. What a spectacular performance it's been for the Patriots.
3rd year in a row.
A serene fall day outside of this Foxborough area where the Patriots have taken care of business. And a new quarterback in, Brian Hoyer. Handoff for J.J. Taylor. He drives inside, hit by Newsome. And that's it for Mac Jones. 19 of 23, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now, we asked him about if you have a rough performance or a rough stretch. And he said, it's kind of like Men in Black. After a bad series, you got to take out that memory eraser, and then you flush it out, and you move on. Tommy Lee Jones knows what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. And we all wish we could have something like memory eraser.
2nd down and 8. Hoyer up in the air. Rainbow is caught by N'Keal Harry. Over the shoulder grab. We've seen Harry in there blocking for New England quite a bit. This is the first time that he has been targeted. 26 yards.
And that's the type of play that attracted them to draft him in the 1st round. He was one of those high flyers, play over the top, play with physicality, which we have seen in his blocking, as you pointed out, throughout the day. Now he gets a chance to catch the football again.
Justin Huron is in at left tackle, and now Owenu is at right tackle. 7 minutes to go. Taylor in the backfield, straight ahead. Rumbles for 3. Joe Jackson with the stop. Let's go to New York and JB.
Bay Iron coming up at 4:25 here on the doubleheader on CBS at Seattle at Green Bay, taking on Aaron Rodgers, who missed the last 10 days, having tested positive for COVID. And he's going against Russell Wilson. Rodgers 4-1 in the last 5 against Russ Wilson in Seattle. Whenever there's controversy around Rodgers, he responds well. Back to Iron Eagle.
Yeah, a couple of Hall of Famers there going head-to-head.
52.
Seattle and Green Bay, the second half of our doubleheader with Jim, Tony, and Tracy. Kendrick Bourne, catch and run. Long strides for Bourne. And finally wrestled down. The ball came out late. And he's ruled down. The chase down by Delpit.
Down by contact, 1st down.
So a big gainer for Kendrick Bourne. 48 yards on the catch and run.
Let's look at the end. Knees down long before the ball pops free. So the correct call on the field. Bourne trying to hold on. You see Delpit trying to wrench the ball out, but the knees are down before the ball starts to move.
Charles, New England has already had a 99-yard drive. They've had a 92-yard drive. Now they're going for a 95-yard drive. And a timeout, it appears, has been called, unless it was an inadvertent whistle.
Too many men on the field.
Or that.
5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, they haven't been able to stop him, so if you can have the extra guy and get away with it, it's a heck of a strategy. Stay tuned. NFL Today update, time permitting. JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cowher. Latest NFL scores and highlights.
So you're saying they were going for possibly the 3rd 90-plus drive of the game.
Correct.
Last week, wasn't it last week Cleveland scored 3 60-plus yard plays?
They did.
A little different than 3 on offense.
Exactly. One was a 99-yard interception return for Denzel Ward. J.J. Taylor met by Jordan Elliott. And just looking at the raw numbers now, New England has 443 yards of offense. Cleveland has not cracked 200. The rushing yards, 186 for the Patriots. And the rushing numbers have been on the rise. Josh McDaniels, terrific game plan. The way he has coached up Mac Jones. We mentioned Hunter Henry, what he said. The way he's learned and how they teach their guys. He's been blown away.
20!
Hoyer packs the ball, throws to the outside. Jacoby Myers, there it is, his first touchdown. Jacoby Myers finally gets to the end zone in his NFL career. Troy Hill injured on the play.
And boy, did he earn it. Watch him catch it in the flat. Then he's got to absorb the hit from Troy Hill, bounces off, and then dives for the end zone to ensure he gets in. After all these catches, when he came into the game with 131 without a touchdown.
And over 1,500 career yards, the most yards ever in NFL history receiving without a touchdown.
So I believe it's at 135, he finds the end zone. Troy Hill was so tremendous last week against Cincinnati. 2 sacks on blitzes. They're looking at him now.
And they're bringing the card out for Troy Hill. The celebration continues for Jacoby Myers. And the concern right now for the veteran Hill. Had a cup of coffee with the Patriots, along with stints in Cincinnati and the Rams. Jacoby Myers, first NFL touchdown. Troy Hill is the injured Cleveland Brown on the previous play. Medical staff came over very quickly. Teammates have formed a semicircle around him. And a lot of concern for the 6th-year corner out of Oregon. Sobering moments. And the dichotomy of the celebration for Jacoby Myers and the serious concern for the Cleveland Browns.
CBS is sponsored by Acura, precision crafted performance, and by Verizon, the official 5G network of the NFL.
They have placed Troy Hill on top of that cart. They brought in a second cart, and as we know in these situations, they're going to do everything by the book. Hill attempting to make the tackle on the catch from Jacoby Myers. Came in, helmet to the midsection, and then recoiled as Myers worked his way down the sideline. So instead of the motorized cart, they wheeled this in, and now he will be brought to the locker room for further tests. Hill, a native of Ventura, California. Undrafted free agent in 2015. And has been a part of the rotation in the secondary for the Browns this season.
Playing very well, especially in recent weeks. Kind of solidified their starting slot corner, starting nickel corner position.
4:13 left in this fourth quarter. Still waiting on the extra point for the Patriots. In front 44-7. Brian Hoyer, the backup quarterback, throwing a touchdown to Jacoby Myers. And now Nick Folk on to cap it off. (45-7) Pats. Remember, Cleveland scored first. It was 7-0. It's a 45-0 run for New England. Three touchdown drives of 90-plus yards today. That's the most under Belichick in his 22nd season as the head coach of the Patriots. Yeah, full exultation for Myers finally breaking the schneid.
Could you imagine if he had looked up and there had been a penalty flag on the...
Oh, no, he didn't even want to look in that direction.
Didn't even want to think about it. But this game, you know, there have been a lot of big plays, obviously. But this game is such a Patriots game. So many people doing things that were under the radar that made the big plays happen. N'Keal Harry's blocking on certain plays. You're not going to hear about that very often. You'll remember the catch. You'll remember what he did with Myles Garrett on 2 occasions for big plays. Things of that nature. See it all the time with this football team.
JoJo Natson on the return. Trying to cut it to the outside, and he's spun down just across the 25-yard line. Matthew Slater still doing it after all these years at a high level. And all these years for New England came number 1,000 between the regular season and the playoffs, the most games among any of the original AFL teams. 14th franchise to reach 1,000. Second this season, Dallas did it.
Remember, Dallas started the same season just in the NFL, 1960. Same season as New England.
A lot of playoff games for the Patriots, as we know, in the Belichick era. And off to Dearness Johnson. And he's dropped at the 28-yard line after a gain of 3. Patriots will have a short week. They will go to Atlanta on Thursday night, and then home game against Tennessee. That's the weekend after Thanksgiving. A lot of smiles from Mac Jones. Yeah, we talked to him about his competitiveness.
Yeah.
And it's something that he's had to harness a bit through the years as a kid, as a teenager. How frustrated he could get.
I'm not on Mac Jones' level because of the NFL being a quarterback, but I related totally to that competitiveness and how it was channeled, because I didn't channel it well as a kid. You know, I was that kid that my parents really had to, hey, that's not the way we act. You know, you don't do this, you don't do that. And he had to go through a lot of that. I think we had some similarities there. But he kept the fire, just learned how to bank it the right way.
Well, he said if he made a mistake in any sport, he'd get really upset, you know, to the point where he'd react and emote. And usually, and this is something that he convinced himself of, when he did that, he would play better afterwards.
Yeah, we might want to check with his coaches on that. And his family. That's how he saw it. They may not have, but I do believe there's an element of truth to that, at least, because that is who he is. But now we see it. Remember I told you earlier, there's a lot of similarities between he and Baker Mayfield that people may not see on the surface. Because Mayfield is way more fiery. We know that about him. This young man, you don't see it the same way in how he plays, but I think the same fire burns within him.
Legs churning for Dearness Johnson. We sent it down to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, obviously it was a sobering moment there with Troy Hill. The update, it's a neck injury. The good news, movement in all extremities. He is headed to a local hospital for further evaluation.
All right, thank you. That's
good news.
Really a relief Obviously, it took a long time. They wanted to make sure they checked every box, and that's the way it is around every NFL stadium when you have any situation like that dealing with your neck. Ernest Johnson dealt with the first wave, but then it was the second wave that got him, including Calvin Munson. And that's going to carry us to the 2-minute warning. A minute 56 to play here in the fourth quarter. And the Patriots in front 45-7. So New England will improve to 6-4 on the season. It's a 4-game winning streak. Things getting even tighter in the AFC East, but Buffalo appears to have that game in hand against the New York Jets. For the Browns, they fall back to the 500 mark. And who knows how it's going to sort out in the AFC North. Baltimore looked like world beaters, then they have a major hiccup in Miami on Thursday. Pittsburgh, obviously no Ben Roethlisberger today.
Struggle.
And you got the Cincinnati Bengals, who were one of the best stories in the NFL through the first 6-7 weeks, and now they've come back down to earth.
Open week and a big one next week for them at Las Vegas.
Keenum out of the gun on 3rd and 7. Sacked again. New England continues to get home. Tashawn Bauer comes off the practice squad, called up, and delivers.
And he's at the top of your screen working as Jedrick Wills, the first-round pick from last year. And because there's no one open down here, that allows Bauer that extra time for his second reaction move to work behind Wills and get him. Because Wills had him pushed to the outside, and in a normal situation, that ball's gone. But because the coverage was good downfield, ball wasn't gone. Second move, gets to the quarterback.
Myers, the return man, he moves all the way forward. And there's nobody back there. They're going to let it just bounce from Gillen, and he places it out of bounds. And they're going to spot the football at the 20-yard line. Coming up, bonus coverage, New Orleans and Tennessee, where the Titans trying to hold on against the Saints to improve to 8-2 on the season. Final minute of action today here in Foxborough. Think the Patriots have found the formula? Boy.
No question. No question. And not only that, you mentioned how these races are going. Buffalo's win today against the Jets, way bigger than I think what people know. They have not played well lately. They got upset by Jacksonville last week. And by the way, the specter of the Patriots looms once again. They erased it last year. It's back and in a big way.
Bill Belichick against the organization that he began his head coaching career, the Cleveland Browns. Head coach between 91 and 95. They made the playoffs in 1994. This was a rout. The Patriots with their 4th consecutive win. And they demolished the Browns 45-7. New England improves to 6-4 on the season. The Browns drop to 5-5. 452 yards of offense for the Pats. Bonus coverage coming up as we send it to New York and JB.